Hello everyone. So, just letting you know, English is not my first language, so I might have an accent, and just so you know. So, I'll show you a little glimpse of the hack I'm working on right now, which is called, for now, Conspiracy. I might change the title later. Uh, I don't know yet. So, let's get started. So you start with 10 arts, so that way you shouldn't be dying. Sometimes when you start with 3 arts, you might be more prone to die. So let's just start like that. And if anyone wants, don't want to have spoilers for the demo that I'll show you, make sure you don't look at it. So here you go. So you start here, falling into this environment. And there you have Tattle talking to you. Did you really have to jump down here? You really haven't changed since our adventure in Termina, have you? So I thought of changing the color of the fairy as well to a more yellowish, since Tattle is yellow, hence why I changed the text from white to yellow. Anyway, where do we go now? We have to get out of these sewers. So that's the main goal for this demo. As you can see, I was limited in time to make this place, and I couldn't get to make the water flow properly with the small falls here, and the water here isn't moving as well. So those are some things that I'm trying to change for the future. Also, you might not have noticed it, but um, the water box from up there apparently doesn't reach to the side correctly, so I'll have to take that into account later. Since it's title that you are working in with into this game, I've changed also some of the text that will use. So if you talk to some enemies, the text will be changed to Tattle's version from Majora's Mask. I don't have a lot of enemies for now, but as of right now, this is it. So you have a key down here. The key will open and lock door, so that I haven't changed. If you get out of the water here, you get a message from Tuttle telling you to look into your inventory if you have items or anything. So if you didn't notice the key at first, you are more prompt to look at your inventory. So you don't have any items, but you have some of the equipment. So you have the bags for the bombs and the seeds, although you don't have the actual items. So it's like they're empty. You have the bracelet if you have to lift up anything heavy, and you have the scale so that you can dive. So if you didn't see the key, or if you thought that you couldn't get the key, well, by noticing the silver scale, you should actually think or notice that you could probably get the key under the water. So this is a room that I didn't put into this. I have some stuff to figure out about the how the scene works. So I just put a sign here saying the area is under construction. It will be expanded upon a later version. So you cannot actually open the door here. So there's a scrub here. You cannot attack it because you don't have any weapons or a shield. So the only thing you could do actually right now is just look at the text. So I've updated this text to Tuttle here tells you that she bets the scrub as something good and to try to talk to him. But if you don't have any weapons or shields to defend yourself with, you cannot talk to him. So you just have to go here. Now you're in the little room here just to get back upstairs. I forgot to put some collision behind the ladder here, so you have to climb it from this side. I might have to change it in a future version because it's a little bit hard how the room is made to climb up like that. So I might just put a hole somewhere here and just let you climb it without going to the wall first. So I also have updated some of the text when the turtle talks to you. So like if you remember in Majora's Mask, she's a bit sassy. So I have changed her text a little bit here. So like, hey, did you forget? You've been neglecting the use of keys. Also, I didn't put a key counter on the bottom left. I forgot about that part. So that's something I'll have to consider in the future. So now Tatal tells you about the three switches and the three flames here and how they must mean something, and that's the main puzzle of this demo that I've put into this. So if you press the switches on and off, they will trigger some platforms all across the sewers here to spawn. This one isn't supposed to be press down, but if you speak to one of the title texts, it will automatically press this one down for some reason, but I'll have to figure it out later. Um, so now the switches are all off, so you could press either of those on to see what will happen in the dungeon. So let's press, for instance, the blue and the red one for starting. Oh, well, let's press them all. Whatever. Just so you know, this is the room where you started at first. So that's where you fell from the ceiling, from the hole here, and that's where you were. I planned that you could actually go back there at first, but and there weren't bars here, so you could jump down. But actually, by doing that, it made a lot of the place not work. It's like it was loading too much stuff at once, so I just barred the place off. So this is the main area of the sewers. So as you can see, the water is not flowing. It's supposed to be flowing. It will be in a later version, but as of right now, it doesn't. So there's some pots here. Um, just be careful because I tried to put some collision on the ceiling here so that the stuff in the jars won't drop out of bounds, but I think because of the shape of the room, the stuff is more likely to spawn out of bounds. So usually the best thing is just to drop the stuff on the floor. So I'll just have to figure a way to make this work properly in in a later version. If you break this one, you get a key. You can go get it. And here, wherever you see a flame, there will be a platform appearing underneath if the switch is pressed on. I'll probably change the actor so it's a little bit simpler in another version, but I didn't have to make a whole new custom actor for that, so that's what I use for now. And since I don't have the green switch on, it doesn't spawn a platform here. This is a little bit of a problem. So if you see there is some kind of light above the door here, it's supposed to be a red platform on top and a blue platform underneath, but you cannot see the red flame. So either I will drop the red flame a little bit more down, or I'll just change the actor completely in a later version. So now that I have a key, I could either go there, I could open any of the doors that we've seen at first in the flames rooms, or I could also open that door here. So there's a lot of keys hidden all around the place here, and I've placed the keys so that you cannot soft lock yourself with the keys. So um, you can find a whole bunch of keys in the area right now. Not necessarily in this room only, but in the area in general. And you can open any of the doors. Some doors will have more progression, some doors will have some rewards in them. So it really depends where you want to go. Um, I'll just use this the key on this door first. So this is back to the first room as well. So you can see there's another chest over there. If I want to read the chest, I will need eventually to have the green flame on because there's a gap there and you cannot cross the gap without a platform under the green flame. However, I've got a little chest here, so I grab the chest now. And now you've got a Deku shield. Forgot to change the text for the Deku shield. I'll do that later. So now that I've used my key, I cannot use the key on another door. Let's just go back to the scrub and see what he wants. Like I said, this is a demo, so it won't be exactly the same in the final game. I've just decided to place a bunch of keys everywhere, place a bunch of items, and it won't necessarily stay the same in the final version. Knock it off, leave me alone, and I will sell you a slingshot. Usually in the base game, the Deku Scrubs cannot sell you slingshots, so I had to implement that for the Deku Scrub here, and I implemented the price as well, so 100 rupees for it. We don't have any, so for now, you just go away. And if you come back into the room, you'll be there again, and you can try it again later with some rupees. So right now the goal would be to somehow find a bunch of rupees, probably to buy a slingshot, but we don't know right now what we could do with a slingshot. Um, if you remember earlier, there was a red platform that was blocking the door, the flame that we couldn't see because it was out of bound. So I'll just remove the red flame, red platform, so that at least I will have access when I find a key for the door that is on my left here. So if we go in here, we're like in a little room with some adjacent rooms here, like some storage or cells or something like that. There's a switch over here. Normally, you cannot hit a switch if you don't have any items in the game. I mean the crystal switches. So we cannot hit the switch or do anything with it as long as I don't have a sword or any other item. This door, if you it's a little bit because it won't do the check prompt if you are from a certain angle. It will only do it from this angle. So if you check it, that all will say the door won't open. Actually, I couldn't find a way to make that door barred when I customized it. So as of now, it just have a check prompt and it doesn't have the open prompt available. I don't know why, but it somehow did that when I tried modding it. If we break this box, we can find a little key here, and we can go into the adjacent room here, cross a gap, get inside the room, so you see the platform like blinked for a little while. That's because I had to put the platform in both this room and the other room. Otherwise, when you were walking through the door, since the platform under you disappeared, you fell into the void. Um, so now you can find this little chest here, which will have 20 rupees. So now we're 1/5 of our way to get Aura slingshot. A little notice. Some people told me that on hardware you cannot go back into this door. On the emulators that I've tried, you could go back in here without any problems, but somehow, for some reason, this room is extra laggy on hardware. So I'm not sure what is going on with this room. Maybe there's a little bit too many polygons to draw, even though there's not that many that are actually collision. So I'm not really sure why it's happening. So that's something that I'll have to look into, or simply just bar the door for a later version. So So what's this say? It's the same thing as earlier. It's an area under construction. There is supposed to be a big room on the other side here that you could see from this room actually because of the bars. But it was making the room so laggy that finally I just removed the room entirely for now until I find a way to make it appear without any problems. The next step we could do is go down here. We haven't been here as of now. Um, at first there wasn't supposed to be a door here. It was supposed to be a tunnel with a transition plane, but it was proving to be laggy a little bit, so I just put a door at the last minutes. Hence why there is a little bit of a space between the door and the walls. So that's something that I'll have to consider when I'll modify the room in the future. And also, there is a green flame here. If the green switch was active, you couldn't go through this door floor, so you wouldn't have access to this room. So there's a little room with a lot of pots and a few chests. This is another area that will be expanded in a later version. Also, this might look a little bit confusing as a place, but I'm planning to make and draw some maps for the place, so hopefully it won't be as um, confusing. So if you didn't get the shield first, this room might suck a little bit because you'll have to through all the pots and be wary that if it has an item, it could uh, be thrown out of bounds. So if you don't have the shield, it's better to just throw it on the ground. Otherwise, with the shield, it's not that big of a chore. You just have to press them up. So there's a few chests here. Um, Only one of them has a good item though. So this one is an ice trap, just for funsies. I really like the ice traps, they make me laugh. So you can open the chest with the ice traps. And if you realize the ice traps as of now are all in the same spot. So the ice traps are in the back left spot. Whereas you have an item in the left center spot here, which are some rupees. And if you look in the in the back center spots, there will be an item as well in another row of the pots, which is this one actually. You can break all of the other pots. Uh, they won't have anything in them unless you find a slingshot. You will find some bullets in them. Otherwise, you won't have any items in the other pots. I could probably bump up the speed of the ladder. I've seen people do that in their hacks, and I think it's a very good idea, so I'll probably do that in the future. So now I've got another key. I could go back to the switches room, but there's also those rooms here that I haven't been into. I cannot go there since there's a gate probably blocked by the switch here. So let's go here. So that's another thing that I couldn't get to work in time for the competition. So this was supposed to be three blocks piled on top of each other. So you just have to grab one of them, move them 3 times, and a block will fall down. So it just doesn't have the block texture, but the grab prompt is always there when you touch it. Grab here. There's a metallic surface here, which is a little bit slippery. Maybe I will remove the slipperiness in another version. I was testing it out. There's a little crawl space here. You have to be well aligned for it somehow to get it to work. And I didn't have the time or didn't find how actually to change the camera to first person when you're crawling through space. So it just looks like Link is sliding on the ground like it's a conveyor belt. And there's another key. Somehow I put as well another enter prompt here, but it somehow doesn't register. Well, it's not too bad because you only needed to go this way, so I didn't bother much with it, with the time constraints. And since the door wasn't openable from the other side, it is openable from this side, so you can just go back here. Um, let's go back here. Now that I've got two keys, I believe. Yeah, two keys. Um, I can go here and open the door right in front of me. Grab this chest, which has another 20 rupees. Um, After having done a few rooms with the blue switch on, I will press the green switch on, but I will leave the red switch on. You will off. I mean, you will see in a minute why. So now there is a platform under the green switch. Um, and I will use my last key from this area on this door, which will lead to some progression in the sewers. Actually, at first there weren't those barred doors here with separating the rooms. At first it was supposed to be a big gigantic room of all the sewers all together, but with the number of actors and everything, it seemed to to become so heavy with everything that I had to cut down the big room into separate rooms, because otherwise you could almost move from any rooms anywhere in the place here without any problems. And because of that, I added some rooms with key locks. So this is my favorite room, I would think so, in the hack. It's a big room here, and depending on which switches are on, it will trigger different blocks across the room here. So if the green and blue are on, it will spawn a little bridge here of platforms to that side. If you have the green and the red on, it will spawn a bridge here on that side to reach the other side. In the end, it will still reach the metallic platform on the other side. However, if you have the blue active, it will block the door there, so even if the gate is removed, you cannot enter the door. So now that I have the blue and green on, I'll go on this side. But I don't have a key. So since I didn't want any soft lock in the demo, I had to put a key in this area between the two key doors. And the key would be over there in the water. If you walk close by here, not on the block though, if you walk close by, you will have a message from Tattle saying that she can smell fresh air on the other side of the door, which is a change from the sewers. So she tells you that this must be the exit and this must be the end point of this demo. Since the competition was about escaping a room or an environment, um, the goal here is to leave the sewers through that door. So now that I need a key, there's a key over here that you have to dive for. Somehow I kind of didn't set the flag properly for this key, as it seems to be recollectible. I thought I did the flag correctly. So if I exit the room and I come back, the key will probably be back in the water, so you can farm the keys for this part. So if you want to speed run this, it might be a good way too. Although from the time it takes to go back in the water here, get back out of the water, get back out of the room, and get the key multiple times, it might be a chore. But as of this demo, it is something that is possible to do. So if we go forward here, we'll eventually go back to the first room where we spawned in. Now that I have the green switch on, there is a platform here. Again, I didn't place the water box properly here. So if you walk to next to the edge here, you will see that there is no water. So I'll have to change this thing in the later version. So let's get back up here. As I said, all of this was supposed to be only one room, so I had to put some transitions uh, to make the place work. So let's go this place since the other tunnel is blocked. It's a little bit slippery since it's metal with water inside. So this is again supposed to be all the same room, but it's where we started when we fell down the hole there. There are some blocks blocking the path here. If you try to get around them, you can try, but you will just void out. I couldn't find a way to rotate the blocks so that they would completely block off the place, and I thought about adding blocks on top of each other, but it would just put so many actors in the place that it would start to unload other stuff, so I didn't do that in the end. So again, you could try to go through. I think this one you actually can, but if you try to either go under or above the block, usually you will just void out. So since the red is not active, it's possible to go through the pipe here and get the little chest here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get over here. The red block would block the path, and you wouldn't get the treasure chest. Now that I'm back here, I could simply go back around since the place is looping around with itself. There are the shell blades here, so let's just loop around to change the activation of the switches. So if we go over here, yeah, I should really bump up the speed on the ladder climbs. Now, I had a blue flame that was blocking the path in the little tunnels, but I needed at least green and another color to cross the big room. So I'll press the red one to be able to cross the big room. While this path here doesn't do much, so you might have seen that there is the red flames here. Um, it was mostly done so that you could see what happens when you press the switches. So when you get out of the room with the flames, you have a little idea what's going on around the place. So if I go here, now I have the green active, but I don't have the blue, so the bridge is not complete on this side. So I have to use the one where the red completes the green one over here. So if we look at it, yeah, the key just spawned back. It's not supposed to do that, but apparently the flag wasn't set properly, so that's something that I could change eventually. And since now the blue is off, when I will find a way to open the gate here, I will be able to leave the place. So now we're back here. So you can enter from either side, I don't really mind here. Let's go here. So now if you want to go over here, it will be blocked off, and if you try to either climb or anything, you will void. So um, the path is blocked. Oop, don't want to slide back there. So the green is off, so you can go here. Again, this was supposed to be the same room, but with the room transition, it was unloading a bunch of actors, so I had to put a door here. So it's a bit out of place for the door, but at least now the room loads properly. So now I just cross here, and I finally get the chest. And I finally have my 100 rubies. So you see, it's not exactly 100. I could have farmed some rubies in the boxes earlier, but In my opinion, it's much faster to just complete the puzzles around here than to try to grind 100 rupees with the boxes. Now that I have enough money, I can finally buy the slingshot, which I removed all of the annoying text here to tell you how you can put it on C and blah blah blah. Which I plan to do, unless it's a new item or an item with a new mechanic. The scrub is also back if you want to try to buy another slingshot, but you won't have any more money. But you could actually buy another one if you had the money. It just wouldn't do anything since it's different than the bullet bag of upgrade. Also, you might realize that there is no sword or sticks that I've put available to the character, and that was only to prevent them to try using glitches with the shield. Will I put a sword in the final game? Maybe, maybe not. I will see how it develops with time. I don't mind the glitches, but it's just fun to see how speedrunners and people try to come up with new glitches and new setups. And now, if we go back here, we have the slingshot, but the door is still locked. So we have to find a way to open the gate. If you remember, at the beginning when we went into the room with the like cells or storage rooms, there was a switch here. And without any items, you cannot hit the switch. So here's the slingshot. We can use it on the switch, it opens the gate. I wanted to be a bar door at first, but there was a problem with the bar doors and I couldn't make them work properly, so I will investigate them later. But as of now, um, I just put gates in front of them. This will open the gates in front of the door over there. The key is also always there. This is the same room actually, so even though you cannot jump over there, it's the same room. So you can hear or see the gates moving from the door leading to the end. So there it is. We've escaped the sewers. I didn't change the exit location. I just put the first exit location into the code of OT, and it always brings back to the Deku tree. Actually, I was supposed, well, I did put a sign here to congratulate everyone working on the competition and on Canton and everyone who put tutorials out there for us to participate. But when I did that and I tried to inject after that the scene of Deku Tree back into the game, it kinda crashed and it didn't load properly. So because of that, I just kept the file without the congratulation message, unfortunately. So there you have it. This is the little hack I've been working on in the past few months. Well, when did the competition start? I think it started in November. I started working on that in November, so uh, that's this is it. So I hope you liked it, and if you got stuck, I hope the video actually helped you with how to beat the little demo.